Good afternoon, Facebook. I had to look at the time. I almost said good morning, but it's actually afternoon. It's now 1:10. This is going to be a quickie. Quickie. I'm going to hit invite for some people who may or may not want to join. Because I don't know why I'm awake, and I'm feeling good about being awake. And I say this because I got to sleep at 4:50 in the morning, and I woke up at 8:38. And I'm still awake. I've been driving Lyft this morning, and then I'm inviting people. So hello, I'll notice in a second who's here and who isn't. Oh my gosh. I know they're not going to be here because they're in Hawaii, but I'm going to send it anyways, whatever. Where am I at? Okay, so it's Casey, Jesse, and Zan, Renee. Good morning, everyone. Or afternoon. I stopped off here at Starbucks to get a bite and get some tea, and then I'm going to do a little more driving before I stop, and then I have to do some writing, and then I'm going to go back to driving. But I just wanted to touch base and see who actually went out and viewed the Perseid Meteor shower last night this morning. This is your host, Myki, Angeline, journalist, podcast philanthropist, blogger on the medium.com as the Bad Filipino, and Facebook has been so heavy. I don't know that I want to touch on the events that occurred over the last weekend, just because it's going to start, I just feel like it's going to start a real hateful thread, and I'm not trying to do that right now. I actually wanted to talk about the meteor shower and talk about something a little bit lighter. So show of hands or pipe down below if you watched or went out and viewed the meteor shower, either the Friday, Saturday night or the Saturday, Sunday. I was told that the best time was late Saturday, early Sunday, meaning after midnight and a couple of hours before sunup today would have been the best time to view it. Apparently, this is the first meteor shower. Am I doing this right? Or is it? No, I take that back. Not the meteor shower. I'm confusing it with our upcoming solar eclipse. Never mind. I was going to throw out some facts, but it's actually about the solar eclipse, which is the 21st, by the way, which I believe is the same day that Common is coming to Sacramento to do a concert at the Capitol about rising up and equality and that sort of thing. And in light of what just happened this weekend, I'm wondering how that might pan out. So I drove Lyft last night until about 12:30, and then I took off to go visit with a couple of friends up in Auburn. And then we took off as a group to Grass Valley to go to a spot to view the shower, the meteor shower, because you have to go, number one, you have to go high up would be ideal because then you're closer to the stars. And two, you need to go where there's almost no lights, street lights, man-made lights, because it just, it inhibits you from being able to see the stars clearly. And I had some crazy passengers yesterday. Nothing that I actually want to record on video. I called somebody to go, oh my God, you're not going to believe what I went through yesterday. I don't know if it's because the shower was coming. I have no idea. It was some intense shit, but I ended up going and we found a spot. We went to a rest stop and then drove up, found a very, very dark spot, and then parked, and then we just we didn't even think to like bring blankets or yoga mats or whatever. And so we just laid on the gravel area. I just, I had my light on my phone and I made sure there weren't any weird creatures that just might decide to like kind of chill with us, namely like snakes or anything like that, because we're kind of out up in the wilderness. We saw some bats fly over our faces as we were laying down and looking up, and it was actually pretty dope. So by the time we got out there, it was about 1:15 in the morning. And if you've ever witnessed meteor showers, they always go really quick. They're just going really quick. They're passing so many miles, hundreds of thousands, whatever miles away, and they're burning out. The meteors are just falling and they're just burning out, right? And we probably saw at least 15 to 17 of them last night, which was super cool. But there was this one that was so cool. it literally reminded me of the meteor that brought Superman to Earth. And I'm talking the 1978 movie with Christopher Reeve. Remember that? Because he came... I mean, I know the remake Man of Steel had the same thing. But I just always reflect on that movie. So this meteor, literally, we're laying there looking up. This thing is so huge. It's passing super slow, number one. And it looked huge. Like, you could see that there was a ball at the beginning of it. And there's a huge trail of, like, fire. And it seemed like explosive. And staring at it, I would guess it was almost 5 to 6 seconds long. That's really long for a meteor to come falling. And I don't even know that it dissipated to nothing. I think it just literally fell out of sight. So while I don't think it landed on Earth, because I'm sure it would have been all over the news and we would have felt that it passed our planet, I joked and said we were going to wake up and have, you know, suntans from seeing that meteor. But it wasn't crazy. It was just like so slow and so huge. It made laying out there in the gravel worthwhile. And then so we decided by 2:30 we were done laying out in the gravel, staring at the stars, which were really beautiful, by the way. It was like so peppered with stars, and it looked like Milky Ways, and it just was huge. We go back, and I was treated to waffles. I don't know if you saw my post about that. So my friends have been finding recipes that are, you know, cutting carbs, and they have the waffle maker, right? That does, like, not really Belgian waffles, but they're the cool waffles, and it's round and you can flip it. And so substituting wheat flour or enriched flour, he made 3 different kinds. So he mixes them all with eggs and fage, is that right? Fage? Greek yogurt, but it's spelled F-A-G-E. So they mix it with a little bit of Greek yogurt, a little bit of natural organic maple syrup. And so the 3 different versions, one had oat flour, one had quinoa, because that was my suggestion, was quinoa. And then the other one just had mostly eggs with very little oat flour. And then threw in some vanilla extract, threw in some, you know, some raisins in one of them, had cinnamon. They were so good. So good, and really low in carbs. Like the third one was 3 eggs and then very little oat flour. So it inspired me this morning when I woke up. I made some pancakes using my protein powder instead of flour. So I used my normal amounts, 2 scoops of my protein powder, which is soy-based and has only like 60 calories, I think, or 90 calories or something. It's really low. With 2 eggs. And then I had some Greek yogurt. It wasn't foyer, but it was other Greek yogurt that was actually toasted coconut flavored. Toasted vanilla coconut flavored. I just used like half of the cup of that, blended it, and made them and ate them. And then I put the rest of the yogurt on top of it instead of you doing whipped cream or instead of doing syrup. It was so good. So yeah, that was, I don't know how, I've been so tired this week. I think some of you had seen on my video, I've been so out of it this week. Napping like crazy. I had that instance. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. So I don't know if you can see it on my hand. I don't know if you can see. I had right there, am I pointing to it? There's a slice across my hand right here. It goes across here. It went deep here and even deeper there. And right here, my calluses are really raised. I just discovered this injury on my hand 2 nights ago. Like at 10:30 at night. Just discovered this injury on my hand. I don't know how I got it. I'm sitting in my car. It's 10:30 at night. I took a break from driving a Lyft. I had my friend, another friend that was in my car because we were catching up. We both were kind of, it'd been literally a couple of years since we physically had been face to face and hung out. We realized that in the course of that conversation. She was going through some really traumatic stuff with a recent ex of hers. Some traumatic Jerry Springer bullshit. And she wanted to bounce some stuff off me and ask my opinion of it. And so we're sitting there and we're talking, and I realized, God, my hand hurts. And I look at my hand, and I'm like, I didn't turn the light on to look at it, and I'm like, holy shit, I cut myself. And I only noticed these 2, and my calluses were severely raised. So I thought, what the hell did I do? I haven't been doing anything. Haven't been to the gym since Tuesday. I don't do any weights or anything that would cause me to have a cut. So the next day, I realized the cut actually started here and it slices all the way across all 4 fingers. It's so minute it didn't bleed, but it's there. It's a long slice. All 4 fingers, but deeper on these 4 and the calluses are raised. I'm baffled. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm baffled because I don't know how I got this. It's one thing to bump your leg and then discover 3 days later you have a bruise and you're wondering why it was tender. Because maybe you closed your car door or caught it on your leg, or maybe you caught the front door, whatever, your bag was really heavy. But there's no way I'm not going to know that I did not grab a sharp object like a blade and then I gripped something so tight that it raised my calluses to where they're like really rough, and they're so rough, they're ready to peel off. What the heck? It has been the creepiest Scooby-Doo week ever this last week. And I really honestly feel like something's afoot at the Circle K with that. This is like an added bonus. I don't know why I wanted to throw that in there. You're talking about the Perseid meteor shower, and then with that. So, you know, I'm having the weird occurrences during my naps. I'm super tired and don't know why, and weird dreams, and now this, like, just weird stuff, people. Anyhow, so I'm gonna go back to driving, and no one's piped in to let me know. I mean, I want you guys to like pipe in and tell me if you stayed up till like 2 a.m. and watched the shower last night like I did, and where you watched it at. I know some people went to Oregon to view it. Some people, there were some spots actually local here that they were doing sites to be able to see it, and it was really cool. It's been quite the week. We had the full moon and lunar eclipse last weekend. We had the Lion Gate portal Tuesday. We had the Perseid meteor shower last night, and then next weekend is the solar eclipse, which I think is going to happen around 10 a.m. Please don't stare straight into the sun, people. Get the official glasses. Don't just buy any glasses. They won't necessarily protect your eyes. Your eyes are really important. And be aware that we might get a surge with energy and things might black out and brown out. That was I saw in the news. Because it's just going to be the intensity of the sun, I guess, against maybe things that are using solar energy could affect whatever. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you for watching. And I'm feeling, I don't know if you can tell, I feel really energized for having like 3.5 hours of sleep. I don't know how that happened. I'm going to drive a little bit more, and then I'm going to hit the gym, do some writing, and go back to driving tonight to hit my quota. But I feel good. And I hope you all are feeling good too. And I will end on this. For those of you who know what happened, you know, in Virginia, with the white supremacist protest, and then the terrorist attack against the anti-protests. All I can say is, stay aware, educate yourself, and look out for one another. We need that. I'm really not kidding. Don't just be a bystander and hold up your phone and record it and post it and talk about it. Like, talking about it on the internet is fine. I'm not saying don't do that. Raise awareness. But look out for one another physically. I mean, me as a Lyft driver, I'm going to keep an extra eye out, because after knowing what happened yesterday that happened, which still shocks me that it happened on American soil between Americans. I mean, it was one thing if the person who plowed all those people down thought he was plowing down Muslim terrorists. Doesn't excuse it by any means. But what I mean is if he thinks America is being invaded, so in his mind, taking them out with his car makes sense. This crazy American decided to take out other Americans of all races. There were all races in the group that he plowed his car into, which the last I read, 1 died, 19 injured. That scares me, because I feel like it's the 60s all over again. Some of you saw that I posted about what was it? What did I post about the COINTELPRO? So it's the 60s all over again. It really is. So knowing that at any given time, because now rallies have happened. There was a rally in Sacramento last night. There's going to be a rally in Oakland, I believe, tomorrow. Please look out for one another. Please keep an extra eye out for someone who's ready to snap. and ready to use the excuse of violence against those who aren't white supremacists. I'm not kidding. And those who aren't supporters of Nazis and white supremacists. Keep an eye out and look out for one another. Strength in numbers, people. Strength in numbers. So that's what I wanted to share with you. Go with love. Go with strength. I'm all about going with love, but I won't hesitate to take someone out if my life or someone I love's life is threatened. And I've got Grandmaster watching this right now, so he knows. My Grandmaster from all the martial arts that I've been training off and on since I was 6, and he was my most recent instructor for the last 20 years. Man, that's a long time. And another instructor on here too, Rivera. I saw you pop on. So I'm a warrior. I don't stand idly by, but I do go with love. And I do believe in talking things out. And I do believe in educating and inspiring and helping someone see a different perspective that's a healthier, supportive perspective. But I don't get it twisted. If someone's going to come at me with a weapon or attack with more than just words, it's on. So that being said, spread positivity, spread love, spread hugs. Flood your newsfeed with positivity, inspiration, love, and hugs. Don't just share this bad stuff. And also too, side note, stop sharing the black pimple popping videos. Y'all are grossing me out. I don't understand the thrill with watching these disgusting, huge pimples being popped. Like, they're getting millions of views. It's ridiculous. Please stop sharing those too. But try not to just share these shocking things. Getting America woke is important, but also keeping people from freaking out and keeping people from panicking and keeping people from really feeding their own insecurities is a must. Don't let social media fool you. I know it's ironic that I'm here on social media telling you not to let social media fool you, but I'm serious. Take it with a grain of salt. Do your research. Talk to some people before you share. Make sure it's legit what you're sharing. And stand behind whatever you're going to say when you post it. I've had some friends post some things. I've shared my opinion, and then I didn't go back to it because guess what? It's social media. So while everyone wanted to post after what I had said, I didn't go back. I don't care. I had to say what I had to say. But the thing is own up to what you're going to post, please. Whatever you post, make sure it is the same words you would stand in front of that individual or those individuals and say it to their face with true conviction in your heart. Because if you can't do that, stop being a bully on the internet. Because that's all you're doing. You're being passive aggressive, you're being a bully, and it's pretty tacky, and you're being a tool. Stand by what you believe in when you post and when you talk, like I'm doing now. Because I'm doing this on a video, but everything I'm saying, I would have no problem having this conversation with you in person. I actually prefer that. I prefer the one-on-one and the interaction and the sharing because a lot more impact happens that way. And bullies tend to not be able to do that, you know? So anyhow, that's what I wanted to share. Hi, Zach. Bye, Zach. I love you. Hi, Kelly. Wade. Anna. Oh, man. Anna, right? Your post, too. So, yeah. So, what did we recap? The Meteor shower was awesome. Waffles with alternate than using flour is amazing. Stop sharing popping pimple videos and go with love. Happy Sunday. Remember, every day that you wake up, you determine how your day will go. Every day. So, manifest to be your best. Have a fabulous Sunday. I love you. I cherish you. I appreciate you.